Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, commencing the Wales Ragchew net. I can hear. So I can pull that speaker. What I'm going to do like normal. Hopefully the live stream's going to work for me, and it is going to give up the actual log. So I'm going to click that now, and hopefully it will give it up eventually. It doesn't seem to be. Oh. Okay, I've been informed the audio has dropped on YouTube, but I didn't actually get it checking via WiresX either. I am going through the system because I'm monitoring PG. I will call if you'd like to be number 3 into the Wales Ragchew net. Go ahead with your call sign, name and location. and of course I know where I'm going. So if you'd like to be number 6 into the Wales Ragchew net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard. So, hopefully, long time no hear, and a long time no hear on the Wales Ragchew net. But you found your way here. Steve, MW7, SMA.
MW7, SMA, M7, CCX. Just check you got me there, Chris.
Yep, I've got you there, loud and clear, Steve.
Good evening. So I'm totally confused. I heard you coming through on ECHOLINK. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. I know you came up on Whiskey, GB3. Whiskey. So I'm totally confused. I'm not sure if you get me or not, because I you guys. Are you hearing now, Chris?
Yep, I can see you are accessing via GB3 Whiskey there, over in Port Talbot. So, of course, yeah, you are getting in. You've got the odd little blip. I think it's like a signal drop. If you can send a couple more horses at it, then, yeah, I don't think you'd get the drop. But, yeah, you are getting in well, and from your location, to there. Back over to you there, Steve, MW7, SMA.
I guess about matters. It's as you know, me and Whiskey's over in Swansea. I'm up to me max. I'm not going to break the law and go up to 50 watts. So I'll spit. But nice to hear you, mate. I've been for a long time. I have tried. The just get connected every 2 seconds. It would just disconnect. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think and the boys and there's so many. How long I'm going? I need to have a problem. I've been listening, but I'm trying to get in. But yeah, nice to meet you. I'll put it back into you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it was starting to drop a little bit there, unfortunately. But it is good to hear you there, and you've got the ECHOLINK as well. But of course, yeah, you need a Yagi straight at it. Hi. But yeah, I'm lagging with my live stream. It should be over there, so I've stuck it there. So next we're going to go round to Michael. Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa, and signal reports are welcome for Steve.
This is Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa coming to you from Lebanon, Tennessee in the United States, where it's about 21 degrees Celsius, a little bit cloudy here. We have some weather coming in towards the south, but right now it's just going to graze the bottom half of the state. But it's going to come in with a vengeance later on tonight or tomorrow morning. We've had way too much. I'm tired of the rain, but at least it's not tornadoes, I guess, at this point, so I'm glad for that. It's been a weird spring here. We've had way too much rain, way too many storms, and I'm looking more for sunshine and everything like that myself. Steve, you sound a little, I don't know what we say, fuzzy or a little distant, but everything was readable. And so, for me, I give you probably about a 5.2, 5.3, somewhere there on the signal report. With that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, thanks very much there, Michael. And it's all good there. So next we're going to go around to Steve, GW5VOG. I'm sure, well, I've heard about it, but of course, yeah, I think the rest of you're going to hear about Cheltenham. Right to you there, Steve, GW5VOG.
GW5VOG returning. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Cheltenham, what's that? Yeah, we went there last Sunday night and Monday night, staying in a Holiday Inn Express, and had a very good time. As you've just said, I've already told you all about it on Sooty's Net. We had a nice couple of meals, and we went to Latsford Arboretum in the Cotswolds, which we thought was lovely. We really enjoyed it. The weather was lovely, so we had a good time. Okay, Steve was dropping out with me, Steve in Tenby. It's not that far away from me. I don't know, about 15 miles away from Penarth, maybe, something like that. Yeah, he was dropping out a little bit, as Chris reported. But when he wasn't dropping out, I could hear him okay. So, yeah, good evening to other Steve. And yeah, so I've not really been up to a great deal. Just the usual FT8. It's been a little bit better than it has been the last couple of weeks, but it's still a little bit of a struggle I'm finding on HF. So let's hope that improves. And yeah, so I wonder where Rod is. He's missing tonight, as usual. And okay, so I'll hand back to you, Chris. M7CCS, GW5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I'm pretty sure that I have been to sleep since. Last week, Rod did say that he wouldn't be on this Saturday. Even with everything going on, I think that clicks in my mind that Rod did say someone gave apologies. So, of course, yeah. Yeah, I think that's why he might not be on. But it's all good. So we're going to go over to M7HLX, I believe I've got it as, over the Wirral. Didn't get a personal there, but of course, yeah, it's right to you, M7HLX. Okay, nothing heard there, but we'll give him a call next time. If anybody else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard. So, right, we're starting to tell you a little bit about my week. So, Monday we were still at Shell Island, so we collapsed down and literally got everything down, and then of course travelled back home. So yeah, that's that one. That's pretty much Monday sorted. Tuesday, so yeah, Tuesday didn't do all that much. I did speak to Ron and Hans on the radio over on Brandmeister, and then of course I remember sitting in the garden in the afternoon and talking through my handheld through HubNet. So of course, yeah, I was talking on HubNet, and I was speaking for about an hour and a half with somebody, and I didn't get told off. Hi. But yeah, it's all good there. So yeah, Wednesday. What happened Wednesday? I'm losing days, but I think Wednesday one of the scaffolding towers turned up. So yeah, I had a scaffolding tower turn up, put that together, changed the security light. That was about it, and started to take down guttering and prepare it. Over the next days with that scaffolding tower, and I had a skip arrive. So yeah, I filled that with lots of wood and bits and pieces. We're going to need more skips. So yeah, that's what City's Net was about on Wednesday. Rubbish. So yeah, I was at home Wednesday actually. I was ordering the skip. So yeah, this happened Thursday and Friday. Skip arrived Friday and Thursday. So yeah, I am losing days there. But of course, yeah, that's pretty much what we've done. This morning, being Ragchew Day as well, we were over there at 9 o'clock this morning. The adopted one, Callum, he came with us, me and Donna, and Donna made sure that we ate. So we did have a McDonald's, and we had a coffee and a tea. But yeah, we cracked on with it, and we replaced the face shear boards, and I'm looking like I'm getting near a time out here. But yeah, replaced the face shear boards, and we did the guttering. And yeah, I remember what I did with the one day. Of course, I'm going to take a pit so I don't time out. So of course, yeah, the biggest one of the week is not getting done. So of course, yeah, when I noticed the day, day the tower arrives and everything, put it up, and you start to see something yellow and fuzzy, and of course, yeah, it was wasps. Wasp's nest crossed with an old bird's nest. But of course, yeah, I can say that there is a remedy from. I spent throughout the day treating it, and yeah, went back today, and yeah, there was nothing around it, and then yeah, I then filled it with some spray foam, so yeah, that's taking care of that. But of course, yeah, I didn't want to be working by there, and then yeah, getting done, shall we say. So we will go around to Steve. Hopefully, he's an odd jobs man. He works at heights and painting, isn't it? I think, Steve. So we'll go to you via ECHOLINK MW7 SMA. Okay, I'll give another call. MW7 SMA. Okay, we'll try and give him a call next time. So we go to Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael.
Well, thanks, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa here. And your memory is maybe a little bit better than mine, but I swore that I think Steve said that he was going to be gone for the last 2 weeks. So I have a good feeling he wasn't going to be here today. I think he may also be gone next Saturday, but don't know because, again, my memory probably isn't nearly as good as yours. So I don't know for sure. When you said you had the wasp, I had a story from a friend of mine here the other day. He was doing some work around his place, and he heard the ice cream truck. I haven't heard an ice cream truck in years. So he got all excited, and he went and got some money for him and his wife, and he went over to the ice cream truck and bought some ice cream, and he was sitting there eating it, and he bit into his ice cream, with timing being perfect. A bee flew in for the ice cream at the same time he bit into the ice cream, and a bee stung his tongue. If you can imagine this, it only happened to my friend Doug, but it happened to him. He got both an ice cream and a bee sting at the same time. So when you talked about wasps and things like that, that's the first thing I thought of, because this happened there a few days ago. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. And remember, timing is everything, and always be careful of the other insects, too. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, timing was everything there. But of course, yeah, made sure I got it extinguished. I thought, you know, I got it extinguished, and because of the gap that was there, it needed filling anyway. So yeah, spray foam this morning before we started the job, and even if that didn't kill the nest, it keeps them at bay, was we did the work on that side of the house. Because of course, yeah, I am assured that even if it is still alive, then it won't be alive after winter, and then they won't return. That's what it says online, but you believe everything you say online. So next we go round to Steve, G5, V.O.G.
GW5 returning. Thank you, Chris. Did I hear Michael saying that he thought I wasn't here for 2 weeks, or was it somebody else, or Rod, or the other Steve? Who? Anyway, looks like there's only you and me left at the moment, Michael, I would say. So let's hope someone else checks in. We're going to run out of things to say. Yeah, I'll tell you just something semi-interesting, not really, but when I finish this net tonight at 9 o'clock, I shall be watching a film on, I think it's on BBC, actually on iPlayer. It's not on actual BBC proper TV. It's on iPlayer, I think. Anyway. Oh no, it might be on Sky. I think it's Sky Cinema. Yes. It's called Boys in the Boat, about an American sort of, I think, Second World War time rowing crew who row in a competition against another sort of boat thing. So they have some kind of boat race, and it was directed by George Clooney. And the reason why we're watching it is my eldest son, who's an actor, has a very small part in it. So, and it's quite a funny bit when he's in it. So we've seen it on little snippets on YouTube, I think, before, the particular scene that he's in, but we'll enjoy that. And then he's actually, at the moment, in an advert for 3, the mobile phone company, which is on ITV quite a lot. We saw it on Sky, I think. Yeah, we saw it on Sky Sports. If people in the UK, if they see it, it's where somebody sort of dazzles everyone, and my son puts his hand over his face to shield it, and when he takes it away, it's left a hand imprint on his face. So that's my eldest son. He's doing a very, very good dozy looking act. He looks like really sort of weirdly dozy. Yeah, so, and then he's also, there's a new series starts on, I'm going to time out now, so a bit. GW5 V.O.G returning. Yeah, he's also there's a new night on BBC, on proper BBC as well as iPlayer, called Death Valley, and it was actually filmed quite a lot of it here in Penarth. And my son has got a small part in that. I think it's in episode 3. So I'm hoping it's going to be on iPlayer, so we can go straight to episode 3. So there we are. It's like we haven't seen him in anything for quite a while, and it's like a bus, 3 come along at the same time. Okay, so back to you then, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, well, we're going to have to look out on the celly now. The boys in the boat, of course, the free advert, and of course, Death Valley, episode 3. So, of course, yeah, we're going to look for Steve's son. And when you turn around and said in an advert, and you were having an hour in for it, I was like, please don't stay on the beach, please don't stay on the beach, because, yeah, the kid, the child and the father, they make me cringe, and yeah, even when you hear the advert on the radio now, you still want to slap him. Hi, but, it's just, yeah, the way he runs and yams a donut, it's like, manners, should have washed your hands first, but, yeah, all good. So, we give another try. M7HLX, he was coming in via CQNorthwest, so I might be getting the call sign wrong, but checked in via CQNorthwest instead near the Wirral. So M7HLX, are you there? Okay, nothing heard. So, we're at the bottom of the list, so if anyone's on the side and you'd like to check in to the Wales Ragchew net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. I've already marked 2E0PXW as listening, as well as M7EMH. I don't know if IJP is listening here as well. So, yeah, M7EMH, I've got you as listening as well. But, if you want to come in, you can always instate yourself. So, would anybody like to check in to the Wales Ragchew net? Go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, there was nothing heard there. And yeah, for some reason, the log's not updating when I'm updating things, unless I'm actually in it at the same time. But of course, yeah, I got the favourite circling going on. But yeah, OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive keeps signing me out. And then as soon as I sign back in, of course, yeah, log comes back. So that's enough of the log. So we are back up to the top of the list. We'll see if Steve is with us there. MW7 SMA. Unfortunately, I have missed marking of missed call. So we're going, hopefully we don't get the second missed call. Can see him there via ECHOLINK. MW7 SMA. Okay, I've given Steve an honorary 7-3, as I noticed that the gateway that he's connected to, GB3 Whiskey, is no longer on the WiresX. So someone might have took it, moved it over to somewhere else, although it's on an auto, but someone might have taken it over, and unfortunately it's left Steve out there. But he's probably turned the volume down on the other radio, the ECHOLINK one, and of course, yeah, he's not hearing us anymore. Hi. So we go to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
It's Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo and Papa. I hope nobody stole your gateway. If you do, you have to call the police, make a whole report, and all that's a big deal. Mess of a thing when somebody steals your gateway. I've never had my gateway stolen personally, but I hear it's a big hassle. Steve, I may have misspoke. I was talking about Rod. I thought Rod had said last time that he was going to be gone for 2 Saturdays. I may have mentioned your name by mistake. Again, I've slept since then, and so my memory always gets foggy whenever I can take a nap or whenever I lay down at night to sleep. It kind of erases it and jumbles the memories back up. So when I get up the next day, they're all gone. But anyway, yes, it's been an interesting week. My wife has to have iron every 6 weeks, and so she does this on a regular basis, both iron and platelets. And this week she had iron, and she had some kind of a reaction to it that she's never had before, and they had to cancel the iron right in the middle of it and pick it up the next day. And we had to watch her for quite a while, so it was kind of a scary, hairy thing here for just a little while. But hopefully that's a one-time thing and won't happen again. And for that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. That's kicking off, and we got quality people, but few of them. I'll turn it back to you. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo and Papa.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you see, everyone's tired out, probably. Hi. But, of course, yeah. It's, of course, it is down to us 3 at the minute. So, we can call this one the check-in and drop-off. Hi. But, it's all good. I know we have got our listeners. And like I said, I know that Barry, keyed at 2E0PXW. He did key up before the net, so of course, yeah, he'll probably be listening. So just checking it was all working. Never tends to come on though, our Barry, but you get in front of him, or you get him on a video meeting, try to shut him up. But yeah, I don't get him on the ring. So yeah, there's one for Barry to actually state himself on the next one. So. Over to GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Michael, I might have misheard, quite possible. So you might not have said Steve instead of Rod. And I was probably getting a bit confused because we had another Steve. Actually, when I first saw it, Chris had put it on the net as Steve A, and I thought, well, it's a funny name I've never heard of before, Stevia. I wonder if it's a woman, because it ends in an X. But it wasn't, it was Steve A, I assume. That's the first letter of his second name, I guessed. Yeah, so saying about going to Cheltenham last week, we can't stay away from the Cotswolds because we've just booked yet another Cotswolds holiday in the first week in July, I think it is. We're going for 4 days to a place called Chalford Hill, Chalford, which is near Stroud. So Sooty and Chris may know it, and very, very nice looking at Airbnb property there with a hot tub. So my 2 sons and my youngest son's partner are coming as well. So although my youngest son doesn't like it very much, he's sort of raising doubts about it, but too bad. We're paying for it, so that's where we're going. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Let's hope the weather's nice. We've had rain here last night, and it's been very cloudy today, and there's rain coming very soon. It's supposed to start at 9, and it's going to be reasonably substantial through the night. Although I always think ideal for weather is it rain in the night and sun in the day. We didn't quite get the sun today. It did try it at times, but yeah, if it rained every night, everything would grow nicely, but we'd never get wet. Unless we went out in the night, of course. But there we are. Okay, so back to you, Chris, M7CCS from GW5 DOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you interact with the YouTubers, numbers of them. So I actually, and then I commented and it said something went wrong. But the comment went through. So yeah, if you're listening on YouTube, so we do it audio as well, because not everyone reads the comments. If you're listening, comment your call sign. I'll get it in the log as listening. It's always good to know who is listening using YouTube there. Who might be listening who can't make it to us. But yeah, so one thing that's just gone into my head, bank holiday weekend, but just as I was about to say something, yeah, the news this end is of course, yeah, we have a big event now. Yeah, can't get out of our village, but apparently yeah, it comes up in the news every so often, it's going to be cancelled due to health and safety, but they go ahead and do it anyway, even if it's cancelled due to health and safety. But yeah, the cheese rolling, Gloucester cheese rolling. So of course, yeah, that's Monday. So yeah, the village is going to be gridlocked on Monday getting out of here. I think it's leave early and run away to church now. Hi. And the other event of this week is, yeah, I get another turn on the coil on Thursday. But, yeah, other than that, all good. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if anybody else would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew net. And of course, yeah, I'm seeing a chat going. I'm seeing Simon saying drinks. He might have sent a picture of them. W.D.R.G. And Donna says that she did. So I'll just have to put her in listening as Donna. So we know who Donna is. So of course, yeah, we've got Donna listening. So I will put turn it blue. And if I actually go over to the log, it probably won't actually do it. It will load up eventually, and then I have to make it reload. But so would anybody else like to check in to the Wales Ragchew net? Go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard. It's bank holiday and everybody's doing all those jobs, DIY jobs, hi. Get out there, get them lawns ready. We're having a barbecue Monday, hi. But, yeah, it's all good. Either that or they're re-watching the Eurovision or, yeah, I don't know what's on Saturday night anymore. Those two idiots out in deck still on. And of course, Strictly come dancing. I don't know what's on a Saturday night anymore. It's so many years, well, it has been so many years since I've watched Saturday night TV. And even if I didn't do the net, didn't really watch Saturday night TV. So, yeah, it's after the Ragchew net. But of course, yeah, this Ragchew net, I do plan to hopefully go and get in the bath. And yeah, Donna picked up steaks. Sorry there, I had a cough there. So yeah, Donna picked up steaks. So of course we are having steaks for starting that food born off. So we go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And some say it's good for you, some say it's bad. But I'm going to take a sip of my JD and Coke and help particularly through.
Chris, I'll let you go over your throat, but hopefully before I will take a little time on that post this time I call. This is our Memorial Day weekend. This is a weekend that we remember all our military that did not come back from their war. I've never been in a shooting battle myself in my career in the Navy, but I lost people, probably about a dozen over my career. The military training and military exercises and just in day-to-day life in the military is a very dangerous thing. So those people were my shipmates, brothers and sisters in arms, and they didn't return. So those are the people I'll remember this weekend. At the same time, a lot of people use it as a 3-day holiday. It kicks off the summer, so a lot of people are going camping and traveling, things like that. So it's good for them to have the first weekend of the summer, as they call it, out and about. Something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it is, so I'll just pause it at that and say I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I will say, Chris, I'm going to step away from the microphone for just a couple minutes, so I'm not here for the next round because we have so few people. Pass me on by, and I'll be here for the very next round. But I have to step away for just a couple of minutes. Hopefully I'll be back in time for my next over. Turn it back over to you, Chris, then. Hopefully you cleared your throat with something strong enough to clear the congestion. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo Papa.
Yeah. Sierra, well, we certainly cleared the throat, but of course, yeah, the bubbles in the Coca-Cola, yeah, they created another reaction. I'm glad I didn't do that one on the mic. Yeah, I burped. But, yeah, as Shrek would say, better out than in. So, right, we go round to Steve, GW5, D.R.G.
GW5 D.R.G returning, thank you, Chris. Michael's just talking about his service in the Navy and friends that he lost. Because we've had the victory in Europe celebrations recently, and I think which was 80 years ago, and also it was the anniversary of Dunkirk evacuation, probably more than 80 years that would have been, probably about 84 or something like that. And the little boats that went and rescued the British Expeditionary Force Army from France, and also quite a lot of the French army managed to escape in the little boats as well. And my father was actually at Dunkirk because he went to France with the British Expeditionary Force. He was in the Air Force, he was a flight sergeant. And I might have told you this story before, I don't know, forgive me if I have, but when he never liked to talk about Dunkirk, but not long before he died, I was asking him about it, which I'd never done before with him. My mother always used to say, he doesn't like to talk about it. And I was asking him something that I'd read somewhere about on the beaches at Dunkirk, to see if he could sort of corroborate it. And I wasn't on the beach. I managed to get on a ship from Boulogne Harbour. I was lucky. I got on the last ship out of from the dockside in Boulogne. So actually, all them years, me thinking of him like queuing up for a little boat on the beach at Dunkirk, he actually came home in a proper ship. There we are, but nonetheless, it was a miraculous escape by our soldiers and airmen, thanks to a lot of sailors. There we are, and actually the rest of the war descends into Canada, which was a little less dangerous than Dunkirk, and he was training Commonwealth airmen at a training thing there on Prince Edward Island, and he actually loved it, and he wanted to go and live in Canada, but my mother wouldn't go, so Canadian. Right, so back to you before I time out. M7CCS and GW5VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, but you know, you say about that, and of course, yeah, I thought when you turn around and goes, it turned out, I thought it was going to be like the old Uncle Albert story in Only Fools and Horses. So yeah, don't know if Michael has watched that one, but he's not round for this round. So Only Fools and Horses, Uncle Albert, he was like always during the war and everything else, and yeah, it turned out he was a cook, and he deserted, didn't he? Yeah, and that was it, and yeah, when they become millionaires, they bought him a ship and he crashed it. No, they bought him a boat and he crashed it, and they goes, I thought you knew how to drive it, and he goes, no, I was only a cook. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, just put a little bit more in there, and of course, yeah, we've got to remember all of our fallen and everything, and of course, yeah, fallen around us as well. Of course, yeah, there was a well-known hubnecker actually. He passed away this week. GW4 Papa Echo Fox, and Winston. Always, I can't remember, it was a London research centre he used to transmit from, and then, yeah, he stayed on there, and of course then he would drink in the social club bar, and they enabled him to put a hotspot down in the cellar, and then he ran the coax up, and then he had an X30, and he used to transmit into that. And then things got a little bit more for him, so then he went more into digital and ECHOLINK side of accessing digital networks and stuff. But yeah, he then he left the world. As I say, he's gone to play with radios up in another place. But of course, yeah, I heard of that news last week actually, on Sunday. So of course, yeah, Sunday night I digital networks for contacts, and yeah, I found that news. So yeah, but you know, we lose people all the time, and we lose amateurs, and sometimes we wonder where amateurs are, Steve, if you are listening. And then yeah, we don't hear them for a while, and yeah, we kind of think what's happening, but of course, yeah, and then suddenly they'll come back. Hopefully, yeah, you don't always want the story of finding out that they have departed. I've found out myself. So I've found out myself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if anyone is on the side and would like to check in. So NDAF N6 UTC is listening. I don't know whether he's doing it via WiresX, whatever, but he's on the YouTube, so I'd assume he's listening via YouTube. Of course, N6 UTC, yep, NDAF half hour, satellites, yeah, he's listening on YouTube there. So I did ask if you're listening to put your call sign in there and whatever, so of course, yep, NDAF has now confirmed at YouTube. So, yeah, I'm missing out, Michael, so I am if anyone else would like to check in. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over for Wales Ragchew net. And a note from you. I want a note of why you're late. Hi, no, I'm joking. Yeah, check in with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard. So, we will go to Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. We won't, it's Steve GW5VOG.
V.D.R.G, W5 returning. Yeah, you're scraping the barrel now, Chris. It's just me left. So anyway, yeah, Michael's coming back, so we'll have him soon. Yeah, another thing Michael mentioned that made me think of something was camping. He was saying that it's the first weekend people go camping in the US. I wondered, let me go back to you. Can you tell me how your trailer tent went? Did you tow it with your new car? And if so, did you have a tow bar on it when you bought it? Or have you had to have one fitted? So, did I have a trailer tent, but the wife wouldn't let me. Because she wouldn't ever go camping. I used to take the kids camping, and she was too posh to camp, I think. She didn't like, she likes a bit of comfort, doesn't like to rough it. But there we are. I used to go camping when I was a Boy Scout many years ago, and I used to love it then. And cooking bacon and baked beans on the fire. How about that? Yes, I've had some really nice camps, strangely. I look back on with nostalgia. But there we are. Yeah, so my food porn, as the usual, I quite often do this on Saturday. I cooked salmon, poached salmon, with potatoes, new potatoes, and fine green beans. Didn't have any parsley sauce this time because I forgot to defrost it. I couldn't be bothered mixing any myself, so there we are. And we're talking about fathers and that sort of thing, maybe cooking. I'm not sure whether we were talking about fathers cooking, but weirdly, I just thought that I could never remember in my life seeing my father cook anything. My mum was a full-time mum. She didn't work, and she used to just sort of spend most of her life cooking in the kitchen, because she had obviously my father and three rather tall, heavily appetited young men. We used to eat like Desperate Dan. So back to you, Chris, M7.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, thanks very much there, Steve. And of course, yeah, you saying that, you say, don't know if someone could cook. I think back to my childhood, actually. I think back to a time when my mum was ill, so my dad would cook. Yeah, every time we had, yeah, beans on toast. Cheese on toast with beans and Worcester sauce. So, yeah, he could cook, but Mum always did say to me, before she went, she was worried whether he'd look after himself. But he was getting microwave meals and things, but then he didn't, in a sense. But I'm sure he would. Oh, he could do pancakes. He always did pancakes. So on Shrove Tuesday, so I know he could do pancakes. But yeah, anything else? I'm not sure of. To be honest, I don't think my dad's there. That's all I can remember my father cooking. In all the years. So Michael was back with us anyway. He said on YouTube. But of course, yeah, he wasn't there. So I have a station. It's popped into Peanut Room, which is A41KL. Would you like to check in to the Wales Ragchew now? Okay, nothing heard, so it's back up to Michael. Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Chris, this is Whiskey Alpha 5 for Romeo India Papa. And start off with the food real quick. My wife, a while back, made breakfast burritos. Breakfast burrito is a flour tortilla that she's cooked in usually butter, which is always better, and has a layer of cheese in it. And she puts smoked sausage that's crumbled up and some potatoes in it, roll it together, and then you can freeze that. She'll make about a dozen of them, and we'll eat the ones for that morning, and then we'll have them put in the freezer so we can pull back out. And in about a minute, you'll have a breakfast burrito that's really tasty. Today, she also made pasta salad with corkscrew pasta, fresh tomatoes, and let's see, what else? Some cucumbers, some other things like that, vegetables in it, and with Parmesan spring cheese sprinkled on top of Thousand Gallon dressing. Is where it soaks into it the noodles really well. Love that. My father was not a cooker either. My household was very 1950s America. My dad had the whole outside of the house to take care of, and anything that broke inside the house, he was the fixer. My mama has her domain, which was or anything that had to be done cleaning inside the house. The only thing my dad ever cooked anything was deep fried bologna and fried eggs one time for me and my sister, because my mother was sick. All right, so that is the only crossover duties. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5 for Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, burritos. Actually, there's a strange thing. I forgot some food for him. So, yeah, last night we took Harry, we took him to his girlfriend. So, of course, she was working, and she works in a chip shop, and it's called the Chip Shed. So, of course, we went there, and we had Bella the dog with us. And, of course, there was food around. Bark, 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 bark. So we went into the car, and yep, I was eating the chip, and then I had a wooden fork, and yeah, I stuck it in the end of my battered sausage, and I said, I've got a corn dog. But yeah, it's probably even the same thing. But yeah, it's battered sausage on a stick, but yeah, it's more of a lollipop stick, I think. But yeah, it's I say it's sure if it's the same thing. It might be a different type of batter. Of course, yeah, you've got to remember biscuits and gravy ain't the same, is it? So, we will go over to Steve, GW5 of COG.
GW5 VOG returning. I just saw Monty key up then, by the way, so I'll be brief and you can call him in. Yeah, sausages in batter. I used to love them. Of course, I'm vegetarian now, and you don't get vegetarian sausages, so I've never seen any in a chip shop. I suppose I could batter my own vegetarian sausages. But yeah, I used to love sausages in batter and chips with a nice bit of gravy. Ooh, lovely. And the chip shop, very cheap as well, very probably the best value meal you could get. And there we are, so I'm going to cut it short, 45 seconds, and pass back to you, Chris, so you can bring Monty in. M7 CCS and GW5 DOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, showing the log, and Monty is in the log, GW1 CER, over here, over there. So where are you today? Have you been playing with your Dalek? How many people have you scared with it? Have you got a camera in it yet? Have you put a radio in it? Oh, there's lots of questions. Over to you then, Monty, GW1 CER.
2 Whiskey 1. Sorry, I mean chocolate.
Yeah, no, I'm having an out in grizzly day here. Want to do some work down at the bottom of the garden, but it's just been horrible. And now it's absolutely hammering down. Which I don't mind, because the reservoirs were, the valley was practically empty. So there's definitely a need for the rain and the water at the moment. But it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because the bit I need to do the work on, I didn't want to get wet. And I'll have to wait now a couple of days for it to dry out a bit more, and I'll get around to finishing the job off. But yeah, it's bank holiday this weekend again, isn't it? And I go to the wood and that to make the decking and stuff, or make a cover sort of thing. And I forgot about that Monday, and of course that knocks everything back a day. And then I've got a few appointments down the hospital. So what I plan to do this weekend isn't going to get done till next weekend. But yeah, we'll see how fit or well I feel then. Because I've got to do things in spurts, you know what I mean, when I feel well enough, and then I'll have a couple of days in bed or ill. And I'll be great, feeling great, and then put me a lap in and I'll feel ill again. Got to be honest, I bought a bag of fags the other day. And yeah, I kind of regret that, because it did make me feel ill. But yeah, it did make me realise how disgusting smoking is, though. I'll be honest, because everything stunk. My mouth. So the time out. 2 Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo, back to control.
Mike 7, Charlie. Seems like plenty of jobs to do, but I think it is ain't it, especially when you start doing a job and then you can't finish the job because, and then you know, oh, I want to do that job, but I need to finish that job first. But yeah, same sort of thing going on really. But of course, yeah, I've got the scaffolding towers, so I've got a limited time to do the painting. This is when we could have had Steve, told him about me. I'm a painter now. Hi. But yeah, the other Steve. But of course, yeah, I've painted all the bottom windows on the house. We've done the fascia board and guttering today. I'm coughing again. But of course, yeah, I have breathed some dust in today. And probably a little bit of moss. And God knows what else. But of course, yeah, pretty much, yeah, it's a case of I've only got the scaffolding towers for a limited time, in a sense. And of course, yeah, I want to get all the top windows the same colour as the bottom windows because I've painted them in with UPVC paint and they are looking good. So yeah, we've got to get the top windows done as well. So I've got a skip. I've got a skip which I say I've got to fill. Yeah, let's see if we can stand on it, make it squash down, and then put some more in it. But it's pretty much yeah, it's nearly full on the same day I got it. So and of course yeah, that's being picked up. And then of course yeah, we're gonna have a barbecue over at the church. For my birthday on Thursday, or I think it's Thursday, I don't know. Do for your birthday, so yeah. Oh, it's half term, isn't it? So yeah. So yeah, I get done it. So yeah, we can any time of the day we can have a barbecue. There we go. Yeah, we could make it a renovation party. Everyone's invited. You got to as well. And yeah, literally. Yeah, we you know, they do it on changing rooms in a day, didn't they? And 60-minute makeover they used to do. Just Donna's saying no. But I'm only joking. So yeah, we get Steve to come down from Henby, because he's already a painter. Yeah, anyone. I've tried out. So. I've timed out. So, we will go round to Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. To you there, Michael.
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Sounds like you're a busy person these days. Houses are always going to take some of your time almost every week. I know they always take constant upkeep. Neglected mine for quite some time, but luckily I have several people that I can bring in and help me do some of the stuff. My son is pretty handy, and I've got one of my wife's cousins does our yard work and just trimmed our shrubs the other way. They were getting out of control, and he came over and cleaned them up very nicely, and he's going to do a little bit of work in the front beds of my house. But there's always something that needs to be done. That's one thing about it. If you have kids, cars, or houses, you don't have to ever worry about where your money's going to go or where your time is going to go. It's going to be well spent taking care of all those things. But that's just the way it is. Steve, I thought about my wife's pasta salad. I thought, well, that's our good vegetarian meal, but then I remembered that she diced pepperoni stuff in the pasta salad to go along with everything else, because we don't really have any, don't know of any vegetarians in our area. But until she diced the pepperoni and put it in the pasta salad, it probably would have been perfectly fine for you. So sorry about that. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it seems like, yeah, at the minute, it seems like years worth of work, but once we get cracking in, you know, it's not going to take as much time as we think. Of course, yeah, basically, we're not at the house as much as we'd like to be, in one sense. So it's basically give it some curb appoint peel from the outside. And of course, yeah, it's not had any for a long time. And then, of course, yeah, we can crack on with the inside. So that's the idea behind it. And then, of course, yeah, once the inside's emptied, then yeah, then we can. Well, we did watch. Well, I don't know. Us in the UK might have watched it. Yeah, heat pump, is it worth it? But of course, yeah, it kind of swerved me towards it, except for you do lose some room for some tanks and things. But I'm thinking about going the solar. And of course, yeah, our government wants us to go heat pump route. And of course, there was a program on telly saying how much it costs a day to run it. Pretty much, yeah, under a £5. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, that kind of swings it. Rather than the dirty old industrial boiler that's probably going to cost you a lot more. Yeah, so, right, we'll go over to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Of course, you've probably already got air pumping heating. I know you've probably got aircon. Hi. Over to you there, Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
You're kind of surprised me. This is Whiskey Apple 5, Romeo India Papa. I didn't know I was going to be back that quick. I guess when we have fewer people, it doesn't take long to come back around to me again. So you kind of shocked me and surprised me there. I was doing some computer work for QSL cards. Anyway, let me think what I was going to say. I didn't know. Oh, I saw what Donnie put on here. I guess it's your barbecue. It sounds delicious. So, wish I was close by. I would come over for some of that surf and turf. Sounds really good. It's graduation season here. Everybody, the spring have all the graduations, and so my son is hosting a graduation party for one of his friends' sons. So they're having a little get together over at their house today, and my wife is going to stop by, or is actually stopping by there. He's cooking some smoked brisket and some pulled pork and some other things that they're going to have that will be named later when she gets back to the house. So I'm looking forward to that because My son is I would venture to say a pitmaster when he does his, gets on the smoke on the grill, both on the grill and the smoker. He makes some magically delicious stuff. So I'm looking forward to that today. And of course, like I said, we have rain coming in Sunday and Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and I think also Wednesday and Thursday. It's a whole week of rain. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I am fed up with the rain. I'd like to have something a little more drier weather out there. And then I'll tell you, turn it back to you, Chris, and I guess we'll do another round in about half a minute or so. Whiskey Alpha 5 for Romeo and Papa.
GW5 V.O.G returning? Yes, I did, just very faintly. Very faint. I think he was only on for 111 seconds. So that's 2 minutes, isn't it? More or less. Just short of 2 minutes. 9 seconds short of 2 minutes. Okay, so, yes. I remember actually when you painted your UPVC windows and you put it on Facebook. At the time it looked absolutely amazing. I was very impressed by it. And weirdly, about 2 days ago, I was talking to my wife about our UPVC windows. We sort of, we had, when we moved in here, we had the original Victorian sash windows everywhere. They were so drafty, it was terrible. So we had a grant from the government to have a new roof, and you had to have everything else done that needed doing if you got that. And they said we had to have new windows. So we couldn't really afford expensive ones, so we had softwood new windows, and they lasted for ages. But about 15 years ago, we started replacing them slowly, and one at a time. So the first ones we had replaced started to look a little bit sort of shabby. They're in the back of the house, so it doesn't really matter. And so I was talking about painting, and I did mention that I'd seen your handiwork and how good it was. I was really impressed. So I thought maybe we could do it. I did like that green colour actually as well. Yeah. So anyway, just to finish the window story, we eventually replaced every window in the house, apart from my radio shack, which is up in it, is an attic bedroom, and that's still got a wooden frame. So that's I think 35 years ago we had a soft wood frame put in there, and it's still okay now. And I'm going to time out soon, so I'm going to take a pick. Yeah, so it's still, and it hasn't rotted, which is absolutely amazing. It must just be the position it's in. But the reason why we've never changed that in my radio show, drill through it with a drill and bring coax, stuff like that in. So I really like that, which of course you can't really do with your PVC or hermetically sealed windows and that. So, back to you then, Chris, M7CCS from GW5 V.O.G.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, yeah, well, that is good for that, and of course, yeah, good that those windows have lasted, but yeah, I've done the bottom ones before I went to Shell Island. None of them have been done this week, but of course, yeah, I will be cracking on with that next week, pretty much, and yeah, getting them to green, and so I've got a plan in that. So we're doing the guttering, that's the highest job, and then the scaffolding towers, yeah, paint the top of the windows and round the windows, get the windows good and pristine, and then I can lower the scaffolding tower by taking bits off of it, and then I can do all the, well, I call it the face, it's not fascia boards, but yeah, it's boarding underneath the window, I don't know what we call that, the cladding, that's it, so of course, yeah, then it's all of the cladding, so that bit takes a bit of time, and yeah, to do all that, and then, yeah, pretty much good to go. We would have done the transformation of the outside in a sense. You know, we're not going to go with the gardens unless anybody knows Ground Force's number. Yeah, you can always put yeah, me in the competition there. You know, you can make it. You can give the story of what's happened, and they might come and do my garden. But yeah, you don't do Ground Force anymore. I think yeah. I think DIYSOS would go bankrupt, hi, if they come to do the house, but it's all good there. So we're going to go around to Twitter, 2W1TER, hopefully you're not eating chocolate this time. Round to you there, Monty.
Yeah, Twitter here. No, I'm not eating chocolate, having some painkillers, so I'm going to have a really early night tonight. I got this super duper all singing, all dancing foam mattress thing, Wonder Foam thing. I absolutely detest it. I just don't get good sleep on it. But in the back bedroom, I've got a Slumberland 1000 or whatever it's called. I can't pick it up. But it's a really nice mattress. But it doesn't fit the bed frame in the front bedroom. And the back bedroom just gets too hot in the morning because the sun comes up. Through the windows at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's too hot because I don't get up that early. So yeah, I think next week I've got to rearrange all my bedrooms. So that's a pretty dull thing to talk about on the radio. So I thought I'd talk about that. Probably because I've just been viewing through the Dull Men's Club on Facebook, and it's made me think of dull things to say. But yeah, but no chocolate tonight. I've had it now. I'm starting to, yeah, never mind. But yeah, it doesn't want to swap my mattress around, which is annoying because I didn't know it was big. I've got I must have like a double bed in the front room and a king size in the back room. If it had been a queen size, I might be able to squeeze it in, but no, it's just way too big. But there you go. That'll teach me. But it was free, so I can't complain. So yeah, there you go. 2 weeks ago, thank you. I'm sorry, there's not a lot this week that I can talk about, I suppose.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, what you talk about, what's happening, you know? It's like me with a house, it's what's happening, isn't it? So that's kind of where the subjects go. But of course, yeah, on that group he was staring through, I want to see a picture of the 2 beds, and I want a banana for size. And only members of that group will actually get that joke, Dull Men's Club. But yeah, I am a member of it as well. But of course, when I lived on my own, I found myself doing that. I used to move the rooms around and things just to have a change. So yeah, it was a little bit easier to do then. Although the shack always stayed in the same place. But of course, yeah, Steve was going on about drilling windows, wasn't he? In Hoover. But of course, yeah, where my shack is likely to be, yeah, it has an air brick. So I think all the coaxes are going to go in there, and then all the other bits of the air brick will get blocked up. So I'll have plenty of holes to go in for antennas and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got round that one very quickly. I've thought about that ahead. But of course, where the shack will go probably temporarily, when we actually move into there, of course that is a wooden window, a very old wooden window, but could probably drill a hole through it and get some coaxes in. But I think we're going to have to look at maybe finding a used window or something and trying to put that one in, or blocking it up altogether, because that is the original window of the house, which was for yeah, my old shack is going to actually be in the downstairs, but my new shack will be in the downstairs cloakroom when I do put it in, and then it's going to move out to the shed to be bigger. But of course I've got to put a new roof on that shed before it can be a shack. So we'll see if anybody else would like to check in before we go around again. So would anybody like to check into the Wales Ragchew net? Go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, I did see PG key up there. I don't know if it was doing its ident or Steve MW7SMA is still there. Are you there, Steve MW7SMA? I'm not looking at ECHOLINK. Okay, nothing heard, so we go round to Michael with the Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. I looked at the picture you sent me. I remember now when you did the windows, you did an excellent job going with it. I like the green color. I don't know if it's green or another type of color. A lot of times when I say it looks like green, somebody will say, no, it's got a little blue in it, and it's got a little teal in it or something like that. So I'm calling it green, and it looks like you did a good job. And I forgot to mention a comment on some pictures, a video that you sent me earlier this week. Somebody had a drone over Shell Island, I believe, and was running the drone down one. Whose drone was that? And was that all your setup for the tents and things like that, set up to the for the SOS last weekend? And you didn't give me any information other than just the video, and it's a great video, and I like the people waving at it. But who was doing the droning for us? And I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, M6DQB should come on and tell that one, really. But of course, yeah, he was flying the drone. Since he had his drone up as well, I've not seen that footage, but yeah, the Pablo's drone, that was, which actually took all that footage, and then the battery died on its way back to him. So we did actually spend a little bit of time, not too long. So the drone's tracking something quite good, finding his drone, and we found it upside down, and it was literally, yeah, not far away from some water, so it was lucky. But it landed upside down, battery compartment open, damaged propeller, but it did take that glorious footage, but that's what it did on its way back. So that was courtesy of Pablo M6DQB. That footage that I sent you a little bit of it. It wasn't all of the footage. I just screen recorded a little bit and sent it you. But of course, yeah, that was the drone footage of Shell Island there. And of course, yeah, Simon was doing the Michael Jackson bit. And of course, yes, and people were waving and everything else there. Of course, weren't allowed to actually take off on the island. But the owner gave us permission to gave him permission to take it off somewhere that wasn't on the island and fly over to the sea level. So it was actually hovering above the sea when it was taking that footage. So luckily it didn't drop out of the sky at that point, high. So yeah, that's where that footage came from. So Steve, the guttering pictures, they are in your inbox on Facebook there. and I believe it's your inbox anyway. GW5 at VOG, over to you there.
GW5 VOG returning. So looking at the clock to see if this is the 73 round, which it didn't say. I think it might be. Yeah, so we've actually managed to get around to 9 o'clock. You didn't come back to me, Chris, about the trailer tent. Just interested about that. The other question from Shell Island that crossed my mind is not a million miles away from Shell Island to Portsmouth. Did Simon sleep in a tent, or did he sneak off home every night for his comfy bed? Let me know. So, yeah. Okay, so 73 to everyone, just in case this is the 73 round. If it's not, I'm going to look silly. But, yeah, nice to hear Monty on. And Michael, always nice to hear you. I was going to say to Monty, I'm glad your chocolate ran out, because you might have got hyperactive if you'd have had any more. Got your Dalek out or something like that. I did see, I think it was on YouTube actually, I think of some Daleks marching up the Mall towards Buckingham Palace when that happened. I don't think it was recent, but Daleks in a parade going up to Buckingham Palace. There we are. So, yeah, I'll hand back to you, Chris, and thank you for your net controlling tonight. 73 to everybody, and over to you.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, you off, Steve? But, yeah, it will be 73 on the next rank. But of course, yeah, trailer tank question, I missed that one. But all I can say about the trailer tent is, yeah, it towed well. It got up there, it got back, it was comfortable. And of course, yeah, the only one thing is don't have the vent shut, even no matter how cold it is at night. Because when you go to wake up in the morning, you are in an oven. Hi. But yeah, other than that, all good. I'm looking at the trailers, well, I'm looking at the CCTV camera. It's coming a little bit mad because of the scaffolding over at the other house. So I've got a live view of that. And I'm looking at Radio 10 because it's over at the other house. So, of course, yeah. Was that the question there, Steve? I'll put it back to you quickly, GW5 VOG. Yeah, did I answer it correctly, or did I totally miss the point? Back to you.
GW5 VOG returning for not the 73 round. Yeah, I think you've answered the question about the 10. But I did say about your new car, did it have a towing hook on it already, or did you have to have one fitted? That was the other slightly interesting question. Back to you.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, our car doesn't have a tow bar on it yet. So it's not got a tow bar on it yet, but it has got towing capacity as a 1.5 diesel. So it'll do that absolutely fine. But of course, City towed it all the way to North Wales and back. And of course, yeah, it's not the biggest of trailer tents. Quite literally, yeah, it handled okay. Everything was all good. And of course, yeah, he's got a V8 Range Rover. So yeah, if that had a problem, so in it. But you do hear the engine work a little bit harder when you're going up and down the hills once we got into North Wales. But of course, yeah, it's all about that thing. The car isn't moving that quick in front, Of course, they don't realise that you need a bit more of a run-up with the trailer. But it was all good. Yeah, questions answered there. So we will go round to Monty, 2W1, CER.
Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, that's a famous thing. It's like a Doctor Who promo, isn't it? They were all crossing Westminster Bridge into the Parliament. That's from back in the 60s, that was. Yeah, that was a big promo thing, yeah. Very famous photo. They've dragged them around on the back of a lorry and took them everywhere. It's a big Doctor Who promo. I'm just looking outside and there's quite a bit of shaky on the old big trees out the back. I think we're in for a storm. And unfortunately my D.R.G is out in the garden and I haven't got a cover for it. But what I might do is pop out and take it apart so the wind doesn't blow it around the garden. Yeah, it's getting pretty rough out there. It's more like a really bad winter's day than a spring night with a bit of drizzle. Yeah, it's getting really rough. Like I said, the reservoir's needed because I think we was going to go on to a hosepipe ban. And it's quite early for a hosepipe ban around here, especially in wet Wales. But yeah, like I say, people moan, oh, it's too hot, and it's too wet, and it's too cold. And then you got people saying there's no global warming. There is global warming. All the contrails in the skies are then playing with the weather. Now they're trying to block the sun out. And, oh, it's getting stupid, isn't it? But there you go. Weather is weather, and there's not a lot we can do about it. Adapt and survive or die. Mutate and divide. But yeah, it is getting a bit peaky out there. So I think I'll be taking the D.R.G head off at least, because that's got all the electrics in. Do Whiskey 1 Tango. Do Whiskey 1.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, Exterminate, and of course, yeah, can't you get it in as an extra? On the filming, you make some money out of it, aye. You can take it to some shows and things, can't you? Make some money out of it, but yeah, you'll probably take it down the high street and scare everybody with it. I know there used to be a bloke around these parts actually. It wasn't a D.R.G that he had, but it was a dustbin, and it looked like a normal, council dustbin, all marked up the same, except yeah, it could drive around and shout at people. But yeah, you can imagine you going through a shopping centre with that exterminating. So it would be all good. So what we're going to do, we are going to go back up to the top of the list. And we are going to do the 7-3 range, so we will go to Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, range to you for your 7-3, while hopefully my log is going to kick into place and start working. Although the YouTube is, at my last count, was about 3 minutes behind, quite high. Range to you there, Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Steve, you are the leader of the pack because you did your 73 earlier. So you were just leading us down, showing us the way. Thanks so much, Steve. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Remember those who gave all to their countries. And I can't imagine what it would be like to have people that are willing to do that. So I signed up for it. I didn't have to. I would say I gave some, but there's a lot more that gave all. So remember those people this weekend, because they left families behind that we'll remember them to this day. Great net, Chris. Didn't have too many people, but we had some great people on in that. So hopefully everybody will join us again next Saturday. Everybody have a great week. Thursday's perfectly good for everybody, so Chris can get some more work done around the house. And I'll say 73 from Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yep, 73 there, Michael. And of course, always good to have you on. And of course, yeah, always remember those who keep the code. We go range to GW5 VOG. Steve, range to you there, Steve. You were a bit premature last time, but of course now is the time for 7-3. Range to you there, Steve.
GW5 VOG returning, although I shouldn't be here because I've 73'd already. I did say I looked silly if it wasn't 73 round, and it wasn't, so I looked silly. But that's nothing new, really. Yeah, so I'll say it all again, 73 to everyone. Nice to hear Michael and Monty on, and yeah, the Daleks. I wonder if you can get in the Dalek, can you then, and drive it, Monty, or can't you? Maybe you can tell me that some other time. Well, actually, you'll be on next, so you can tell me then. Yeah, so 73 to everybody, and to all your families, best wishes, and hopefully back on Saturday, and yeah, I was quite impressed. That was very kind of Sussy to drive your trailer tent up there for you. So that was good. That was good. I have to get the old tow bar on the new car. I don't know whether putting a tow bar on a car can actually maybe devalue it slightly, because people automatically think you've been towing a huge heavy caravan around every weekend. So anyway, there we are. 73, thanks for being net controller, Chris, and yes, from GW5 DOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, 7-3 to you there, Stephen. That sounded like my mother there. Yeah, never buy a car with a tow bar if have the guts towed out of it. But yeah, that was some of the she used to say. But of course, yeah, it's one of them things. Of course, with our eco boom, yeah, we wouldn't have ever been able to get a tow bar on now because they won't fit one to it. Because obviously, if it's not capable of towing, then they won't fit a tow bar to it. So a car has to be capable of towing for you to be able to put a tow bar on it. Yeah, if your engine size isn't capable, you won't find a fit one for it. You can get universal ones, but of course, yeah, you'd be going against what they're saying in a sense. And then, yeah, it's up to you. It's your problem. Although, yeah, Colin the Colt with 1 litre and the clutch went on him. But of course, he did capably tow it. But the clutch was probably already on its way out. So, of course, yeah, 1 litre will tow, and yeah, that was a 1 litre, and it actually had a tow bar on it. So yeah, some cars will tow and they're capable of it. It's all to do with what torque they produce at the wheels, I believe. So yeah, 7-3 there. GW5 VOG. So we're going to go around to Monty now. I do believe his Dalek's probably radio controlled. 2W1 CER.
251 here. Yeah, no, this one's just a shell. You can make them how you want then. Most people, well, there's 3 others in the village here, like, they got them as well. Well, one bloke's got 2 and the other one's got 1, so there's 3 other Daleks, and they put those, well, there's one that's electric, but he's put a disassembled disability scooter inside it, so he can scoot, you know. But most people just put a bench seat inside and scoot it around with their feet. I mean, mine's got casters on it, I could do that. But no, I'm just putting like electronics in the head and that, so there's lights up, and it shouts things out when people walk past. It's got like a motion sensor on it, and it shouts the usual Dalek stuff like at you if you walk past. But it comes in 3 parts really. You've got like the skirt with the hemorrhoids on, you know, the dots. Then you've got the neck piece with the sink plunger on, and then you've got the third piece, which is the top, which is like the dome and the bit that the mesh bit that the actual Dalek entity looks through, I suppose. You know, it's hard to describe what it is really. You know. But you can make them so you go inside or not. Depends what you want. This one's just a static display. I've got like a thing booked next month for the cancer charity up at the Bracken Trust Centre. And I'll take it up there because it's just a way of getting attraction in it. Kids will come running over. Well, probably parents will be dragging their kids over. And I'll have a bucket by the side of it and a photo with the Dalek, 50p. Yeah, for a display or something, comes sometime, summertime. And then of course I've got the Village Fate, and they like to have them on the green there. It's always... And I've got a Stormtrooper outfit as well, but I'm getting a bit too old to wear all that sort of stuff, so I might put that on a mannequin. But, yeah, I've had a Stormtrooper kit for years. But, yeah, you just buy the shells and that and do it. Well, there's a couple of suppliers, and they vary in price depending on which version you buy. You can get a fully kitted out version of a new Dalek for $6-7 grand. But I didn't pay that, don't panic. I didn't pay that much for it. There was lots cheaper. But yeah, they're just basically a shell, and you just do what you want with them, like anything. Put your own electrics in, or... But this one's an all fiberglass version. It's made to go outdoors. It's the waterproof version. The other ones are made of wood and chipboard and stuff. And of course, if you left them outside for any length of time with the rain and that, they warp and destroy themselves. So I've got a fiberglass one. But yeah, no, I'll take the override just to explain that to the listeners. But there you go. That's 101 in Dalek. From 2 Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo, and then it back to Davros.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep. 7-3 to you there, Monty. And of course, yeah, explaining them the Dalek there so that they knew what it was. Of course, yeah. I know there's a version where people get in them and roll them around. You've seen them, it shows. So, all good. And of course, many moons ago, in this town of Gloucester, they actually used this town for a Christmas special. A road, you know, a little bit of the cathedral, and there was a lane opposite it, and of course it still all looked oldie worldy. So of course, yeah, they used it for the filming of a Christmas special. It was one with David Tennant, and of course, yeah, you saw all the Daleks that they actually used for the film set with people inside them that run around. And it's got a little voice box in it, obviously. But yeah, you could have a lot of fun. Stick a bowfang inside it. You could have a lot of fun, because you could just transmit to it, couldn't you? And so that's all good. Anyway, in the net tonight, we had myself as net control, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. We had Steve, MW7SMA, via Golf Bravo 3, Whiskey, until it was cut off there. We had Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa Michael. We had GW5, VOG, Steve, and we had, so I'm not reading the whole list, I was only reading what was there. So, yeah, we had MW7SMA, WA5RIP, GW5BOG, we had M7HLX in the Wirral, we had 2E0PXW Barry was probably listening, M7EMH was listening, Donna was listening, N6UTC was listening on YouTube, and of course Monty was participating, 2W1CER, joined City on Wednesday for the W.D.R.G afternoon net, and of course I'll catch you next Saturday if I don't catch you in the week.